Well, here we are again. As you can see, once again, James here, your Tournament Tuesdays champion of the world, forever and always. But again, this is not about the Tournament Tuesdays championship. Not right now. Put that to the side. Because yesterday, well, for me it was yesterday. For you it was actually the same day, July 13th, that I released AEW Fight for the Fallen predictions. The first wrestling prediction thing. I still don't have a good name for it. But either way, I released predictions yesterday for me. And today, as I stated in that video, we're going to do Extreme Rules 2019 predictions. Now, if I just pull it up real quick, I've already got it set up. I'm going by a list on CBSSports.com. I just always use them whenever I need to know the start time or whatever for the shows. So that's what we're going to roll with. And the matches they have are winners take all. Rollins and Becky Lynch against Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans Extreme Rules match. WWE Championship Kofi Kingston versus Samoa Joe. Roman Reigns and The Undertaker versus Shane McMahon and Drew McIntyre, no holds barred. U.S. title Ricochet versus AJ Styles. Braun Strowman versus Bobby Lashley, last man standing. SmackDown Women's Championship Bayley versus Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, 2-on-1 handicap match. Raw Tag Team titles, The Revival versus The Usos. SmackDown Tag Team Championships, Daniel Bryan and Rowan versus The New Day versus Heavy Machinery. Aleister Black versus Cesaro. Cruiserweight Championship, Drew Gulak versus Tony Nese. Oh, right before we start, since I screwed it up at the AEW predictions video, this will be on the line a toy replica Intercontinental title that I've had for years because of Tyson giving it to me years ago. Again, I really need to get a good replica title. That'll be on the line. Winner, if I can, well, AEW Fight for the Fallen, which is tonight as I'm recording this. If I can get at least 5-3, I'll be awarded that title. And since I have no competition, even if I don't do well at Extreme Rules, I'll keep the title. But hey, we'll see if it goes and see if I can get Tyson into this predicting thing later. But either way, so Cruiserweight title, Drew Gulak and Tony Nese. Gulak, I haven't been following WWE really at all recently, but I know Gulak just won the title. And Tony, which is weird because Tony Nese won it at WrestleMania, taking it from Buddy Murphy. But I guess after Buddy Murphy had that long reign, or what felt like a long reign at the very least, I'm guessing they didn't want to have another. Since they've been having so many long reigns, I guess they didn't want to have too many really long reigns. So since Gulak just won it, I couldn't imagine that they'll take it off of him unless they start hot potatoing the belt, and then that's just not good for the belt. So yeah, I'll go Gulak. That makes the most sense to me. Aleister Black and Cesaro. Now, this match is interesting because it'll probably be one of the best matches on the show, if not the best. But I love Cesaro. I'd love to see him get a win here. But Aleister Black got called up. He's done really nothing in singles action, and with Paul Heyman and Eric Bischoff taking control of SmackDown and Raw after this pay-per-view, I'd imagine they'd want to push Aleister Black, especially since they're both SmackDown guys. So I imagine Eric Bischoff would probably want to push Aleister Black, maybe even probably a little more than Cesaro. So yeah, I'll go Aleister Black gets the win here, even though I want Cesaro to win. The smart decision is Aleister Black. SmackDown Tag Titles, Daniel Bryan and Rowan, New Day and Heavy Machinery. Now, of course, the New Day are great. I don't know too much about Heavy Machinery, and then Daniel Bryan and Rowan, I know they're actually, I know people really love them. And they've been having a good reign, and even if it's against the New Day and Heavy Machinery, but more specifically here the New Day, I can't imagine Daniel Bryan and Rowan losing the belts right now. I mean, it wouldn't make sense to me, especially since New Day, as of right now, I couldn't imagine Big E and Xavier. As it is, I can't imagine Big E and Xavier winning the belt when Kofi's the WWE champion. Unless they'd want to have, maybe SummerSlam end with the New Day all holding gold. But at that point, just have Big E and Xavier win the belts at SummerSlam then. Have them get a rematch against Daniel Bryan and Rowan. I mean, that makes sense to me. That way you can, in the show, say maybe Kofi retains and Big E and Xavier win the titles. Boom. That's a good emotional moment if you want to do that. But either way, I'm going to say Daniel Bryan and Rowan retain the titles. Again, that makes sense to me. Revival and the Usos. I know the Revival definitely recently took the belts off Hawkins and Ryder, the jerkwads. I know that people don't like that, me saying that, trust me. But I'm a fan of Hawkins and Ryder. I've always been a fan of Hawkins and Ryder. I love the Edgeheads. I mean, I love the Revival too. I wanted them to actually do something. But the problem is, it's tough to say whether or not they're going to actually be able to have a good reign here. Because they're now 2-time Raw Tag Team Champions. The first reign didn't do anything. The second reign, I don't know. That's the tricky thing. But the Usos, I mean, genuinely are one of the best tag teams in the world. So, again, I don't know. It's tough to say. Especially when, we know the Revival have been wanting to get out of the company. And with already before us knowing that, WWE being not booking them properly is the way I'll say that. I know that sounds super smarky, but that's just the best way to say it, is not booking them properly, not giving them anything good to work with. Granted, after that, apparently they were questioning loyalty or something because they gave the Revival the whole Usi hot thing, and that was just garbage. But I don't know. If they, the thing is, if they give the Revival, if they give Dash and Dawson something good to work with and let them have a good, decent reign with the Raw Tag Team titles, you might actually be able to win them over and have them stay. But it's tough to say that, or are they just going to take the belts off of them again and give them to the Usos, who have always been loyal? I'd like to say the Revival can get a win here and actually have a good reign, and that's what I want. So yeah, let's do it. Unless the Usos were to somehow have the opportunity to have a match with the Briscoes at SummerSlam, just a one-time thing. Briscoes come in, one match, SummerSlam, then leave. Never to be seen in WWE again. I mean, that would be awesome. But no, I'll say the Revival. SmackDown Women's title, Bayley versus Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. Now the thing here is, Bayley hasn't held the title that much. She won the Women's Money in the Bank. At this point, God, was that in May? I don't know. Either May or June, either a month or a couple months ago at this point. And she cashed it in the same night. Or was that at Stomping Grounds? No, she cashed it in the same night. Beat Charlotte, who'd beat Becky. Now, some people think, from what I've read, that Sasha Banks is going to get involved, save Bayley, somehow let Bayley keep the title, then they might go in, have Sasha turn on Bayley, have a match at SummerSlam, and Sasha gets the belt back. I don't think that's a good idea. I absolutely do not think that's a good idea. Now, it's very possible, and more than likely they would do it, because it's WWE, and they freaking love giving Sasha the belt just to take it off of her when she defends it. But I don't think it's a good idea to take it off Bayley, especially not to give it to Sasha, because think about this. We've seen that before. We have constantly seen Bayley and Sasha feud. Apparently they're best friends, and then Sasha immediately stabs her in the back. It's we've seen that so many times before. We don't need to see it again. If you're gonna have, unless they swap the roles and Sasha's the babyface and Bayley's the heel, then you're at least doing something different. But I don't know. I don't think it's a good idea if they're gonna do that, to take the belt off Bayley. I don't. But I'm actually gonna go with Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross here anyway. I like Alexa. I like Nikki. And simple as that, really. I think this is a very interesting partnership, and eventually at some point Nikki is going to think a little bit more about what Alexa's doing, and that's going to lead to dissension, and eventually they're going to feud. And I think, really the feud doesn't need the title, but but at that point, what a great way to actually build up Nikki Cross and have her do something, and have her win the Raw Women's title, or SmackDown Women's title. I mean, the whole wild card rule is freaking stupid, and it's got me all screwed up. But that's the way I look at it, and again, I just really like Alexa and Nikki both, so I will go for them. But I will say, if Sasha comes out and tries to help Bayley, like, I swear to God, they better not take the belt off Bayley. Keep it on her. Sasha does not need to get the belt back. We've seen this feud before. We don't need to see it again. Like, I don't care if they can have great chemistry and have great matches. I don't care. We've seen it before. We do not need to see it again. But either way, Alexa and Nikki. Strowman and Bobby Lashley. Now, this match, again, I really haven't been following. So, I know, like, Strowman essentially speared Lashley through the Minitron. And they were both... Like, everyone was playing up that they were both going to, like, medical facilities and all that. This match, I remember reading that some people, like, the safe bet is obviously Strowman. It's obviously Strowman. But they could actually build up something that, you know, they could actually build up a Lashley versus, like, Lesnar thing. Oh, you know, it'd be awesome. I just thought about this. If they have Lashley win and then go on to feud with Brock Lesnar, and then go on to feud over the Money in the Bank briefcase, that could be really cool. And what a good way to put over Bobby Lashley at that point. Beat Braun Strowman in a last man standing match, and then able to go on, beat Brock Lesnar, and take the Money in the Bank briefcase. That'd be awesome, especially since, again, Brock doesn't need the damn briefcase. And who knows, maybe you could have, after Lashley wins, maybe he wins in a little bit of kind of like dominant fashion, and then Paul Heyman makes him the next Paul Heyman guy and kicks Brock to the curb, something like that. I mean, that could actually be really cool. I don't know if it'll happen, but that could be really cool. But I always vote against Braun Strowman, not because I always think he's gonna lose, but just because I'm not a fan of Strowman's at all, and I always want to see someone else win in like every match he's in. Like, I've voted Sami Zayn versus Braun Strowman. I always voted for Sami Zayn. If we look at the Battle Royal at WrestleMania this year, I said, honestly, I thought Mustafa Ali was going to win it. Because, again, it's not Ali, it's Mustafa Ali. Either way. So, it's interesting. I don't know. Again, the safe bet's Strowman. But why stop? Why stop the failure of a record here? Let's go Bobby Lashley. Again, I have a very terrible record voting against Strowman, but let's keep it going. I'll say Lashley. Now this match, again, it'll be definitely one of the better matches on the show. It's U.S. title Ricochet versus AJ Styles. And of course, Ricochet is the current U.S. champion. Styles has recently turned heel, realigned with Anderson and Gallows. And I know another theory people want to happen is for Balor to join the club and actually have like this proper like WWE Bullet Club kind of thing going. Now, I don't know how they do that, whether Styles will be the leader or Balor will be the leader, or like, I don't know. Like, we know like Anderson and Gallows are like the resident like tag team, potentially bodyguards, but I don't know who's gonna be the leader though. I mean, that could be cool, but I have one problem with that, and it's not a problem that I personally have. It's just like marketing wise, I couldn't see WWE turning Balor heel to align with the club. I can't see it, because Balor is such a huge figure in terms of marketing for them, and like everyone loves the whole Balor Club is for everyone, Balor Club worldwide. Everyone loves that so much. I couldn't imagine, like, for marketing purposes, that they would do that. So that's the tricky thing there, the way I look at it. But it would be cool. Now, Ricochet, I know, just won the U.S. title, and no one has had, in quite some time, like quite a long time actually, no one's had a decent reign with the belt. I mean, Samoa Joe's was kind of decent, but then Ricochet won it. So, at the very least, if they're going to have Styles win the belt, I can't imagine it's going to be here in his first attempt against Ricochet. So, Or apparently, according to CBS Sports, it's battle for the third time. So apparently they face on Raw. But I can imagine it. Well, if it's the third time, this has got to be the first pay-per-view match between them, though. So, I don't know. It's tricky. It's like doing predictions stuff like that. It's always freaking like insane and tricky to think about. Ricochet, AJ Styles. I mean, when someone just wins a belt, it's always a safe bet to vote on them, unless you like have a very strong suspicion that they're going to be a transitional champion. But Ricochet, I mean, he's someone that you could definitely build around the U.S. Imagine like the very exciting, give him like a really good reign with the belt, and imagine the exciting matches he can have. Like that would be amazing. So you know what? As much as I like Styles in the club, let's go with Ricochet. I'll say Ricochet retains. Roman Reigns and The Undertaker versus Shane McMahon and Drew McIntyre. I swear if Shane McMahon beats either Reigns or The Undertaker in this match, oh god, this is a match I don't care about. I don't want to see it. The Undertaker is over 50. Shane is almost 50. Like, in reality, this is just another reason to give us Reigns versus McIntyre without giving us a one-on-one. Let's be honest here. But the one thing like everyone wants is just let Reigns and McIntyre go out there, have a one-on-one match, and just beat the shit out of each other. That is all we want. Just have them beat the crap out of each other and have a good hard-hitting battle of behemoths. That's what we want. And maybe a spear out of nowhere or a claymore out of nowhere. I mean, but it depends. It's like McIntyre. I do want to see a stare down between McIntyre and The Undertaker. I absolutely do. But unless McIntyre looks really good and just dominates either Reigns or The Undertaker, probably would be the smarter decision to do The Undertaker. I mean, unless McIntyre does that, I'm saying Reigns and The Undertaker. Because I don't want to see Shane do anything remotely involving the finish unless he just hits somebody with the coast to coast. Like, maybe have him hit the coast to coast on Reigns, take him out of the equation, and have Drew just batter The Undertaker and get a win. But unless that happens, I'm going Reigns and Undertaker. Reigns and Taker. No, WWE title. We've got Kofi and Samoa Joe. Now, Kofi is someone that we all wanted to win the WWE title at WrestleMania. He did, but I'm guarantee all of us feared the moment he won it that he wouldn't have a good reign. Now he's been having a good reign. He got into this stupid feud with Dolph Ziggler where they had the steel cage match at Stomping Grounds. No one showed up. No one cared. Blah. But it's just, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. Like, Samoa Joe is one of, if not the best heels in WWE right now. Straight up. I mean, he's definitely, like, one of the best talkers on the mic on the main roster right now. I mean, you got, like, Joe. You've got Miz. That's all I can think of, in all honesty, for, like, the best talkers. Best promo guys. Like, part of me doesn't want to see Kofi lose the belt. But if they would want to... But it's like, part of me also wants to say, like, well, it might be a smart thing to give Joe the belt here because, let's see, on both Raw and SmackDown, we had two lengthy reigns between Lesnar and Styles. Lesnar held the Universal title for, like, friggin' 500 days, and then AJ held the WWE title for, like, over a year. So, both were long reigns, and then he dropped the belt to Daniel, who had a few month long reign up to WrestleMania, and then Kofi's had probably getting close to about 6 months. Well, it's probably 6 months at like SummerSlam. So, I don't know. Or is that 4 months? like early April, so just count like all of April, May, June, July, August. 5 months, so close enough. But I don't know. It gets close, and because like you have to try and get in the mindset of what you know about a certain company and how they book. But when you watch multiple different promotions, you start like get confused. You can like start to get confused, and things can start to blend together. And like, oh hey, you might start like watching a lot of AEW, and they say wins and losses matters, but then you might get like confused and like start thinking wins and losses matters in WWE when you know they don't. And it's all a big thing. But I really like Joe, but you know what? Joe. I'm going to say Joe wins. And then the final match, this has got to be the main event in reality. Come on. Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch versus Corbin and Lacey Evans. Extreme Rules winners take all. There is no way in hell Becky Lynch and there's no way in hell Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans win. No. Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch, the men will retain their titles, and that's it. Rollins and Becky Lynch win. It's like there's no way that they're gonna put the belt on Corbin. Like, and Lacey Evans has already had like multiple, like a shot, maybe multiple shots. Again, I haven't followed that much. So Becky Lynch and Rollins, straight up. But that is Extreme Rules predictions, and again, it's a pretty longish video for predictions, but I don't care. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like, comment down below, share on social media, do all that good stuff. Remember forever and always that I am Tournament Tuesdays champion of the world, and I guarantee that with AEW Fight for the Fallen, I will be Mr. Two Belts here on the channel with predictions and Tournament Tuesdays on my shoulders. But until then, I'll see you later. Bye, guys.